Welcome, Black America, to the BCC, Black CENTCOM, Black Central Command, with your War General, Queen Ma'at Girl, with that Ma'at Girl, reporting, representing, and presiding over Black America and the Revolutionary War. Salute. Now let's do some B1 salutes of this here chat room before we even get dirty here today. B1 salute to Kenny Conjo, sir. He says evening greetings, peace everyone in the chat. We have with us tonight Miss Brighton, B1 salute, Sister Queen. She says, is that Kenny? Peace. B1 salute to Sanders, sir. B1 salute. He says ahoy. And he also says, hey Uncle Kenny. At Kenny Concho. We also have, and that is it. So now we're going to go ahead and do the Black CENTCOM classical intro. Before we start, I'm going to take one more moment to make sure. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, we're going to do our classical Black CENTCOM intro, ladies and gentlemen, and jump right into it. Excuse my voice here. It's a little bit hoarse. Who am I? I'm the words you're afraid to speak, the face you're too faint to see. Call me scarlet, crimson red, the blood of a million slaves in every verse that I pen. I'm dark matter in a world of light weights, the future you cannot fathom, your inescapable fate. I'm freedom in a musical note. I'm you in the mirror of the reflection of hope. I'm the most hated, most feared black woman on all of white and black YouTube. I'm a debate prep, battle-hardened intellectual warrior scholar. I'm an intellectual revolutionary terminator of white supremacy. I'm a black prophet, a black truth terrorist, a black separatist, a black history hit woman. Indigenous peoples adventure comforter and queen, and might I add. I'm a black separatist, a black panther, a black freedom fighter, and a black field Negro. Black power! Black power! Black power! Black power! Black African, uncompromising power. Welcome to the BCC, Black CENTCOM, Black Central Command, ladies and gentlemen. First thing we have to say tonight is, I almost feel like, hey, I want to advise you all, not pertaining to you in this chat room, but I almost feel like I have to make a disclaimer, well, two disclaimers, to be honest. And the first disclaimer goes, please, take everything with a grain of salt. Don't take it too serious. I'm not talking about you in the chat room. I consider you faithful. I consider you soldiers, warriors. I consider you with the lioness heart, the warrior spirit. I consider you exempt. Second disclaimer. When I'm going in on the black community, I'm going in on the collective, not the individuals. And there's a third disclaimer, which goes, I'm not addressing the black community in general. I'm addressing black slaves who have been bought and paid for by white nationalist front movements called ADOS, the appeasers, the excusers, the apologetics in blackface, the white supremacist in blackface, making it possible for white supremacy to operate. I'm addressing slaves, not free men and women. Sorry if I hurt your nerves, boo-boo. Rewind the video and listen to the disclaimer is all I can tell you. But the point is, again, we have a great and mighty work lined up tonight. And let me say this. And I hate how I do that. I start snickering like it's funny. And really, it's not fucking funny, people. But let me just say this at the onset. You see, I take a census, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm seeing, unfortunately, a lot of peoples who claim to be the pioneers of quote-unquote, yes, I'm doing air quotes, but you can't see me, but quote-unquote, intelligent black society. They're at a loss for words. They're at a loss for content. They're at a loss for an agenda, ladies and gentlemen. When you listen to their videos, they're just doing gossip pieces. And we're talking about the 1 percentile with the most views. The hierarchy of Black YouTube. The male order. We're not including the females. We're not including Sister Cynthia G. We're not including those people. We're including the male order, the most popular, well, the most views in the monopoly here on Black YouTube. And we're not talking about the manosphere. We're not talking about the Black order. We're talking about a certain few, and we're really not talking about all three. We're talking about almost like one. But if we want to be honest, this faction kind of clicks up and supports one another, so it's almost like we have to count them as one. But the point is, when you listen to their information, it comes off as a hit piece on women over and over, a hit piece on minutia. It comes across as a hit piece on celebrity gossip. Through their paradigm, they're talking about Issa Rae's and the Candace Owens over and fucking over again. Well, reason that doesn't fly, doesn't stand, is because in intelligent Black society, intelligent, keyword, intelligent men especially, including the women, would say, this is beneath me, big fucking deal. They wouldn't talk about this stuff over and over and over again. See, because what individuals do, unless they're murdering and killing people, does not mean shit to the collective. We cannot learn anything from that unless it's something they've initiated, started, ratified, implemented for collective gain. So to talk about individuals every fucking day of the week and spend this tinfoil hat urban legendized lie and smear campaign and character defamation is really a missed opportunity for true leadership. Misinformation campaign and bullshit, to be honest, coming from the 1% with the most views. Talking about we are the standard bearers of intelligent Black society. We must hold them accountable. I get bored with that shit. I'm sorry, but I get bored. God damn it. And so we're finding, now that we're paving a new way, we are bringing out the truth. And we're smacking down cowardly liars. They're finding, and ADOS is losing traction, believe it or not. We are all witnessing the collapse of the order, the collapse of the hierarchical three, the dynamic triplets, the dynamic triple, or whatever you fucking call them, Trinity. We're finding, there's nothing to talk about really in this circle. It's all jipper japper. See, I rarely hear in the BCC, Black CENTCOM, Black Central Command, repeat my fucking self. See, if I bring up another piece of data I've said before to all of you, is in a context. But I won't do several videos on, say, for example, Issa Rae, Tyler Perry, others, and whatnot, over and over again. We cannot learn anything new from that. So anyway, it's becoming shameful. And every day I'm reminded why I'm here and why some of you are here, because we have to continue to gravitate to the truth. And a lot of people have given that up a long time ago. When I say, without fail, I'm talking to a nation of slaves, damn near, not you in this chat room, I mean it. Because the implications are, we've given up as a people collectively, not me, not you, not I, but as a people, as a body politic, we've given up a long time ago on a quest for the truth. We've given up. We're at a point where we're standing still. We're at a point where we don't want accountability. We're at a point where, well, whatever we want it to be today is what it's gonna be. We make up shit as we go, and we just say shit to fit our little scorn soft, ruined, damaged egos to box ourselves into what I would call victimhood, under the guises of MPD and DID, dissociative disorder, and multiple personality disorders. So it's really laughable, and we're going to get deep into that. First, let me just say what this dissertation is called. It is called, and this is an emergency broadcast, it is called, ladies and gentlemen, if I can pull it up, 54 years too late. Integration was the reparations. Now, you may want to say it with me. 54 years too late. Integration was the reparations. And you're probably wondering, why the fuck is she saying this? Please let us be slaves. Let us be needy children. Well, we're going to get into it without further delay here, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get comfortable. We've made some changes to the studios here where my leg won't be hurting me. You know, we got a good desk set up and whatnot. I'm not having to blah, blah, blah. So let's stick to this information. But first, before we do, we're going to look at the chat room, see what's going down here. We've got Sankofa Cyborg, B1 salute, sir. We've got, who is this? Necruma, true message retracted. Can't read that. B1 salute to John, nothing, sir. Salute Queen, he says. B1 salute to King Concho, sir. If I didn't say it earlier. Xander puts up the fire and says, Queen, my odd girl. And we've got a Sambova, please. Sankofa Cyborg with the smiley faces and the hearts and the flowers. Emmanuel Briggs, B1 salute, sir. He says, hello, Queen. Ma'at, hello, brothers and sisters in the chat. We've got Kerfra saying at Emmanuel Briggs, hello. And we've got, that's it. That is it. Greetings and salutations to all those with the warrior spirit, the lion's heart, the lioness heart, to be here tonight. And we have some changes made where we can kind of follow this chat room in more real time. So, to get into this, ladies and gentlemen, let me sip my herbal stuff. I hope I'm coming in clear. Because we've changed up this mic setup. But anyway. And yes, we bumped up the, what do you call that thing? The interface a little bit, just so we're coming in hard and clear. You may want to adjust your headsets. I might scream at any moment, but that's, you know, my war pad. Don't hold it against me. Now, before we start, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about a little more backstory, a little more context. You know, and as we do this, well, I wonder. You know what? We're going to just do it as it comes. We're going to jump right in right now, and we'll build from here. It's important that I inform you all that civil rights, I repeat, integration is what it brought. And integration was the reparation, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get into it. You will leave here tonight with an understanding. All right, let's do it. Civil Rights Bill. This act signed into law by President Lyndon Johnson on July 2nd, 1964. Look it up. Prohibited discrimination in public places, provided for the integration of schools and other public facilities, and made employment discrimination illegal. This document was the most sweeping civil rights legislation since Reconstruction. Now, to recap what you just heard, it says, I know the questions you're having, the doubts you're going through. I know it. But you see, I'm going to shout out my sister queen, Rashida Strober from Dark Skin TV. Black Power, sister. Because I witnessed recently, a few seconds ago, in her chat room, a bunch of flunky-ass men, black men, came into the chat talking about, well, everybody gets rejected. He's trying to tell her there's no point to calling out colorism and darkism. Well, sir, I'm going to point out your hypocrisy and make you feel stupid. You are of the camp who says, how dare you tell us to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps? But wait a minute, sir. You just got through saying, everybody gets rejected. Sister, you want a tissue? It's okay. Well, I never. Well, God damn it. If everybody gets rejected, goddammit, well, the white dominant society owes you nothing. Pick yourself up by the bootstraps. You see, I called him out and made an example of him because we have a race of slaves fighting against the truth, fighting us as men and women, stand-up leaders, be able to providers, teachers, edifiers, educators, and elevators. And the point is this. These people are sickening, should make us sick to our cores, are the problem, are the cancer, are white supremacy and blackface. Because every time we get to telling the truth here, you know, one of these house Negroes comes up to undo what the field Negro did or said. And they pull out the doubt campaign, the pessimistic, look it up, and all of the bullshit to continue being a ward of the state, a subject citizen under the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments, and bottom bitches prized by Massa and Zaddy as they bitch and complain as number one, like a pedigree dog, being fed all the stipulations and resources and government-sponsored cheese. And the hells of America, KKK, the United Snakes of America. Well, your father and I want you to know, here in the BCC Black Central Command, this is a warpath. You found yourself on a war field, a battlefield. Fool, it's time to wake the fuck up. I no longer seek to excuse crybabies, whiners, frauds, and victims. See, in the hells of America, victims are not protected. And you can look it up. But getting back to this. Now, Civil Rights Act. They made it clear this law prohibited discrimination in public places. Provided for the integration of schools and other public facilities, and made employment discrimination illegal. So, what do we have here? Hold on one sec. Refer to the stack of stuff. What we are seeing here, ladies and gentlemen, is we're seeing. Let me drink. Hold on. Damn it. I'm stupid. Believe you me, my mind is very graphic and visual, so I might laugh sometimes, but this is serious business, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what we have is, because I'm thinking of you pathetic Negroes and how you're squirming, hitting the back button, saying, fuck you, Queen Maud, and all this here. It just cracks me up. But what we're seeing here is this powerful legislation, whether you agree or disagree to it, prohibited discrimination in public places. So, if this is true, no more segregation, roughly, no more sundown towns, no more colored water fountains, no more sitting in the back of the bus, etc., etc. So if this is true, we go further to examine they provided for the integration of schools and other public facilities. So far encompassing, far reaching abroad from schools alone, we have the ability now to, say, for example, work in corporate America. We have the ability to choose any school of our choosing for higher education, prestigious learning, and whatnot. We don't have to just limit ourselves to black schools, failing schools at best. So anyway, we also can acknowledge it says that the Civil Rights Bill's passage and ratification prevented discrimination in the workplace and made it illegal. Meaning you now have access to white capital, enterprise, free enterprise, capitalism, and other isms when it comes to money. So all of this comes together to form Voltron called equality. All of this comes together to form Voltron called equal protection in schools, public places, elsewhere, so, and abroad. And we can go further. But before we do that, we're going to go into the stack of stuff. And I stole that from the satanic Rush Limbaugh, which I'm sure you already know. I'm going to go further here to tell you the definition of reparation, to clarify the lies and the deceit spun by Yvette Carnell and her carrier pigeon, the Judas Goats, under ADOS working for John Tanton. Because they won't tell you these things. Now, see, when you hear the word reparation, Black America, you're thinking money, monetary, money, Big Papa. Zaddy's gonna give me money. And then Zaddy goes, I like it when you call me Big Papa, you know. So anyway, because Zaddy's ice is colder, ladies and gentlemen. This is what you slaves believe. But the definition of reparation is the making of amends for a wrong one has done by paying money to or otherwise helping those who have been wronged. The courts required, and here's an example. The courts required a convicted offender to make financial reparations to his victim. And that's where money comes in. So we're going to go back to the first definition that says making amends for a wrong one has done by paying money or otherwise helping those who have been wronged. So, did you catch that other part? The latter says, or otherwise, helping those who have been wronged. So the reality is, according to the stack of stuff, that the integration was, oh my God, a form of reparation. Can you dig it? I thought you could, baby. Now we're not even done yet. We're just starting. So don't squirm too much, baby. You know, Mama got you with the truth. But that's all I can do for you, baby. So now, see, people that want to tell you reparation only means money are deceiving you. They're full of shit. And they're deceitful. Because the reality is reparation doesn't only have to be money or limited to monetary benefit. Depending on the context of things, it can be monetary or otherwise. The context is, by the year, let's go to the source. I want to be sure. The year 1964, no black person, ladies and gentlemen, was in chains on a plantation. We were coming out of Black Renaissance Harlem, Black Renaissance Wall Street, doing for self. The world in America, KKK, was still segregated. And we were picking ourselves up out of the straps. But we were responding at the time to the murders of Emmett Till, the lynchings, Sundown Town, Jim Crow 1.0, and the race riots that bombed us out in Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rosewood, and other places. Now, with this proper understanding, we can see that no one really had to cut you a check for being chained up because you were not chained up. However, it is beneficial to research whether or not they should have paid for any loss of land and any black peoples who were murdered in a lawsuit. But keep in mind, those would be relegated, look it up, to a individual-based compensation, not a worldwide, all 52 states, American compensation plan of monetary reparations, fool. But anyway, getting past that. If you didn't own those lands, those shops that were burned out, you get nothing. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, baby doll, please. I'm just being the truth terrorist. You dig? And so now, as we go further, we can conclude, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, of this here intelligent black society from the BCC Black Sin Complex Central Command is that we kind of got the package deal we deserved at the time. And I'm going to show you why more in context. Reparations was the integration that we chose in our ignorance or whatnot. Whether you agreed to it or not was the reparations we chose. Now we know that civil rights and integration were largely sought for the purpose of black men being able to date not black women, slap yourself, white women. And so, it was about coon shit more than progress. However, we're getting there. So please stand by. And what we're going to do right now is to heat things up. Is we're going to do this. We are going to do this. Oh my goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, keep up. I think quick, I'm the war general here. What am I doing? So now, what we must do is this. Bring you some more context. So we know that we were kind of seeking, not monetarily, but access to monetary repair. We were seeking integration. Unanimously, sort of. But let's go into some context here that, MLK, Dr. MLK, was not really approved of well. His approval rating was in the 70s, 70 percentile back in those days. Because a lot of black people believe we should continue doing for self. We should continue pushing for monetary reparations in that context. But with the blinders and the cloud and the seeking white passage, acceptance, safety, protection, gratification, and approval coming through the legs of a white woman, it was just a matter of time before integration was the reparations. So anyway, let's go through this history real quick. Backstory on Martin Luther King's approval rating. Even though he is revered today, Martin Luther King was widely disliked by the American public when he was killed. 75% of Americans disapproved of the civil rights leader as he spoke out against the Vietnam War and economic disparity. According to an early 1968 Harris poll, the man whose half-century of martyrdom we celebrate this week died with a public disapproval rating of nearly 75%, a figure shocking in its own day, and still striking even in today's highly polarized political climate. White racial resentment was still a critical factor at that point, but Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s unfavorable numbers were at least 25 points higher in 1968 than in 1963. And his flattering appeal over the final years of his life was also a consequence of appearing to fall behind his times in some respects, even as he was leading well ahead of them in others. A day after returning home in December 1964 from a tour whose most important stop was also the noble, literate for peace, joined a picket line at Atlanta's crypto pen factory, where some 700 workers were striking for better wages for less skilled employees. Though it was a remarkably humble gesture for someone who had received such a lofty affirmation, King's actions that day and his call for a nationwide boycott of crypto products won him a few friends in his hometown's white, staunchly anti-union business community. His picketing also foreshadowed a future in which King would move beyond the bloody battles against blatantly illegal state and local racial practices. Places like Birmingham and Selma, not content with the gains registered in the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, he resolved to pursue a more expansive aggressive and to white Americans especially unsettling socio-economic and political agenda one that would draw him into another fateful labor dispute. Some 3.5 years later in Memphis, while still involved in the Scripto affair, King sat for a Playboy interview with Alex Haley in which he endorsed a massive federal aid program for blacks. Its whopping $50 billion price tag was, he pointed out, less than annual U.S. spending for defense. Such as expenditure, he argued, would be more than justified in a spectacular decline in school dropouts, family breakups, crime rates, illegitimacy, swollen relief rolls, rioting, and other social events. Many poor whites were in the very same boat with the Negro, and added that if they could be persuaded to join forces with blacks, like Eddie West persuading you to join forces, anyway, they could form a grand alliance and exert massive pressure on the government to get jobs for all. King had made passing allusions to his possibility before, but a straightforward call for an active biracial coalition of have-nots was just as terrifying to white ruling elites, be they on Peachtree Street or Wall Street, as it had been when raised by the populists in the 1890s. God, my eyes are fucking with me today. What the hell? King did nothing to quell these concerns when he later told David Halberstam that he had abandoned the incremental approach to social change of his civil rights protest. Days in favor of pursuing a reconstruction of the entire society. A resolution of values, one which would look uneasily on the glaring contrast of poverty and wealth with righteous indignation. King's vision of a revolution in values was not purely domestic. In April 1967, he denounced American involvement in Vietnam. Once at his own Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, and once at Riverside Church in New York before 3,000 people on April 4th. Precisely a year before he was killed, he decided, the hypocrisy of sending young black men 8,000 miles to guarantee liberties in Southeast Asia, which they had not found in Southwest Georgia or East Harlem. Beyond that lay the painful irony of seeing them join white soldiers, with whom they could hardly live on the same block in Chicago or Atlanta, in brutal solidarity, as they torched the huts of a poor village. In this, they were, however, unwittingly agents of a U.S. policy that destroyed and depopulated the countryside, forcing its former inhabitants to take refuge in cities teeming with hundreds of thousands of homeless children who were running in packs on the streets like animals. Former Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee Chairman Stokely Carmichael observed that in this case, King was taking on not a hapless Wally, unsystematic villain like Birmingham's Sheriff Eugene Bull Connor, but rather the entire policy of the United States government. The consequences were swift and severe, and outraged President Lyndon Johnson cut off all contact with King and a great number of black Americans, including many old allies and colleagues from the civil rights years, warned that his stance could have devastating consequences for their cause. King hardly fared better in pursuing his domestic agenda. It was one thing to capture public sympathy nationwide when pitted against the raw hatred and brutality that seemed the peculiar province of whites below the Mason-Dixon line. And please stand by for one little small hot minute. Okay. It proved quite another to persuade whites outside the South to share their neighborhoods and jobs with blacks or to support expensive federal assistance programs dedicated to helping blacks overcome the historic disadvantages imposed on them by whites of earlier generations. King got a better grasp of what he was up against after his 1966 open housing campaign in and around Chicago, where he confronted white mobs he described as more hateful than he had seen, even in Mississippi or Alabama. In this context, his own stern insistence on strict adherence to the doctrine of nonviolence met with growing disdain among a younger generation of black leaders. Yeah, see, black folks pushing back too, not just whites. Tired of relying on the excruciatingly slow process of peaceful protest and tedious negotiation, some mocked King's ministerial oratory and called him de-lawed. It was impatient with King's doctrine of nonviolence that turned what would prove to be his last march on behalf of striking sanitation workers in Memphis on March 28, 1968, into a riot. Some marchers quickly broke ranks to break store windows, and looting was soon underway. An aggressive police response, complete with tear gas and billy clubs, led some protesters to retaliate with Molotov cocktails. By the end of the confrontation, one person was dead and some 50 others wounded. Feeling repudiated and ashamed by this failure to prevent violence, King had to be pressured into returning to Memphis a week later for yet another march, one that a single assassin's bullet on April 4th assured he would never lead. I never knew this, really. When Stokely Carmichael originally scheduled a press conference on April 5, 1968, he had planned to use it as a platform for demanding the release of fellow black militant H. Rap Brown, who had been stuck in Maryland jail for several weeks. Instead, he devoted but a few sentences to the plight of Brother Rap before declaring that white America made its biggest mistake last night by killing Dr. Martin Luther King. King's slaying meant the death of all reasonable hope, Carmichael warned, because he was the only man of our race, of the color generation, who the militants and the revolutionaries and the masses of black people would still listen to, even if they no longer agree with what he had to say. There would be no more intellectual discussions. Black Americans would now retaliate for the murder of one of their leaders by seeking their justice, not in the courtrooms, but in the streets. I remember recently somebody telling me, oh no, you can't get justice in the street. Oh no, it don't work like that. Well, these people fought for justice in the street. But anyway, I never know nothing. But anyway, moving on. And this went down in Brother Gab's chat room, however. And this is not a diss, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway. And so they did. In classically Farrick fashion. Younger and more militant black spokesmen who had spurned King's commitment to nonviolence and peaceful negotiation proceeded to stoke outrage over the slaughter of someone so unmenacing and well-intentioned. A week-long orgy of violence raged across more than 100 cities, leaving at least 37 people dead and many more injured and millions of dollars in property damage. This was a bitterly ironic send-off for someone who had sacrificed his life to the cause of achieving social justice by peaceful means. King's view of the Vietnam War would approach the mainstream of American thought with a few years, and his condemnations of American militarism and gross disparities in wealth and opportunity still echo, though to little more effect than he was able to achieve 50 years ago. Yet the basis for today's approval rating, north of 90%, can be captured significantly in carefully cropped newsreel footage of King's countless confrontations with vicious, inflammatory bigots and his magnificent oratory that day in August 1963 at the Lincoln Memorial when achieving his dream seemed largely a matter of rallying his countrymen against institutionalized racial persecution in the South. Overly narrow historical memories typically serve a purpose, and in this case, it's far more comfortable to focus on Dr. King's success in making a bad part of the country better, to contemplate his equally telling failures to push the whole of America to become what he knew it should be. Now, getting through that, let's break it down real quick. Key points are: number one, Black society were angry with him, tired of the we shall forgive, overcome bullshit. 2, you have to keep in mind his approval rating was down. See, here's what I believe about his death. Because, you see, the enemy had to make sure he died so that Black people would support him. Why? Why, sister girl? Because they were afraid that we weren't listening to the coon, the house nigger saying integrate. So they said, let's make a martyr of him. And guess what? Negroes are so spiritual. They'll support it now. And now we can control the narrative, the collective. So I think the murder was planned and plotted to make a martyr and make him a symbol of leadership, a divine figure before the collective of people who denounced him. Well, you know what? This is why we caution you all not to follow identity politics, not to follow things like ADOS. Because in the end, you're going to hate those leaders who misled you. Like now we hate MLK for leading us down this integration thing. But keep in mind, we're not here to march for integration tonight. We're here to tell you it was the reparation. However, just letting you know, this is why they murdered him. Because they needed people to refocus. Those Black people to refocus their thinking. Re-question their thinking, to be shocked and awed into overt, total and complete approval of Dr. King. And the fucking enemy will do it by any fucking means necessary. With that being said, moving forward, it stands to reason that Dr. King sought to make America, not America. Well, he was calling for America, but he sought to make America what he knew it could be, or as great as he thought it could be. I have a question, and this question applies to all of you in the chat room. If you want to ask each other this question, and the question is, did he achieve that? The vision he saw for America, the America he wanted America to be. Question is, did he achieve that? I will answer is say yes, through integration. If the answer is yes, then it stands to reason that the America Dr. King fought for, and many others envisioned and fought for, was the solution. the repairing of a broken country and system, and overall, it can be concluded that integration was the reparation, but we're not done. Because we must show and prove, I've prepared some undeniable research findings to prove my case tonight that reparations has been paid in the form of integration for Black America, paving the way to equality, justice, reciprocity, and success for the Black man and Black woman, more abroad our Black community. Now we're going to jump into some further research data here. According to CBS News, Tyler Perry is the creative force behind 22 movies, 20 plays, and 8 TV shows. 22 movies, 20 plays, and 8 TV shows. Can you dig it? But that's not all. The 50-year-old writer, director, and actor just built a 330-acre movie studio complex in Atlanta featuring a dozen sound stages named after Black Hollywood icons. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, she did. Oh, bitch. Yes, I did. So anyway, we're whoa. I'm having an orgasm. Wait a minute. Now, hold it. The thing is, we're going to reveal for you why this here is a smoking damn gun. Let me catch my breath. This is some deep shit. Oh, boy. Anyway. CBS this morning. Co-host Gayle King visited the studio with Perry, where he discussed the poetic justice of building the studio on a former Confederate Army base. Now, if we recall on the reparations stipulations back in the late 1800s to early 1900s, they were talking about 40 acres in the middle distributed to Blacks in the South and Confederate previously owned territories. Anyway, continuing. In a wide-ranging interview, Perry opened up about his experiences with abuse, his relationship with his son, and his plans to use the studio to help disadvantaged youth. And producer, could we please move along? We're not talking about Dr. King right now, so let's go ahead and bring up Tyler Perry. Thank you, sir. B1 salute. So now, anyway, get back to this. All right. Start here. Think about the poetic justice in that he said, or let me back up 1 second. Yeah, think about the poetic justice in that he said the Confederate Army is fighting to keep Negroes enslaved in America. Fighting strategy, planning on this very ground. And now this very ground is owned by me. In a wide-ranging interview, Perry opened up about his experiences with abuse, his relationship with his son, and his plans to use the studio to help disadvantaged youth, who are Black, I'm sure, on realizing his dream of opening up his own studio. I feel like I'm just getting started. There was a movement that happened in 2005 at Oprah's Legends Ball, Perry recalled. My movie had just come out, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, can you dig it? Had just come out. First movie. Not a lot of people knew me in the room, and I'm sitting there wondering, what am I doing in this room? Yolanda Adams is sitting next to me, Perry added. I think I said it out loud. 'Cause she goes, you belong in the room. Leaving there, seeing it, touching it, tasting it, feeling it, the excitement of what it meant to see a woman, a Black woman, be able to do that. Spoke to me in so many ways. And I'm on a video saying, leaving here, I'm going to dream bigger. Let me pause right there to say something to you slave-minded Negroes in the collective. And I'm going to remind you of this later in this dissertation, but this man went through the same persecutions as all of you. This man, along with Oprah and others, faced, discrimination, racism, been called nigger, I'm sure. been fired off of jobs, I'm sure. And damn it, he slipped out of his car. So don't tell me there's a difference in Tyler Perry and you. Some magical shit where this man can succeed. Or can succeed and you can't. You Negroes are pathetic because all you do is change the narrative to fit and suit a victim. You Negroes are pessimistic. You Negroes are cynical. You Negroes are hateful. You Negroes are envious, jealous when it comes to black progression. You throw every border you need to keep us boxed into victimhood. To ensure that you're race hustling on the internet and abroad. To ensure that this reality of sucking on the white man's titty, acting as a bottom bitch top ward of the state, the prize pedigree victim, receiving government-sponsored cheese, either it be welfare or so-called reparations checks for nothing. That's why you co-sign the victim's narrative every fucking time. That's why you're pessimistic. Because sadly, all of you have lost your ambition and will to fight. To expose the beast, to bang on the beast, to stand up and die on your feet is what it is. It's what it comes to. Can you dig it? So anyway, there's no excuses. If a man like him, with all the persecution, all of the obstacles, all of the setbacks he faced, can overcome, so can you. Continue. In many ways, it seems to me like you're just getting started, King said. Or King said. Oh, yes, I see. All right. At 28, I went to the Shell because I started touring, doing 300-something shows a year, Perry said. So somewhere around 44 and 45, I came out of it. And I go, wait a minute. Where did all those years go? And now I feel like I'm still 35. So I feel like I'm just getting started. There's nothing about me that feels like 50. Whatever that's supposed to mean. On overcoming abuse as a child, telling stories, was born out of pain. You were homeless. You literally slept in your car, King said. You're 6'5". What kind of car was it? Geo Metro, goddamn. Hold up. A Geo fucking Metro, 6'5". You Negroes make me sick, Perry said with a laugh. Pretty tough. This entire journey of telling stories was born out of pain. Born out of headache, heartache. Born out of being an abused kid who could go inside of his head and create a world and imagination, Perry added. Also, that same abused kid watching his mother getting beat, and there's nothing he can do. My desire and heart to make her laugh and feel better was so strong. And you know, if I could make a joke, or if I could imitate her or my aunt and make her laugh, or some of the women she played cards with on Friday nights, all of that was so painful and so important to me. Perry's past made seeing his studio's name on a highway sign all the more meaningful. The first time I saw it, it was next to Sullivan Road, which I remember when I moved to Atlanta. I moved off of Sullivan Road with my cousin and got put out of house. Had no money, that kind of thing, he said. Then to see my name next to that moment, it took my breath away. I'm like, okay, you're on the highway, so you can't stop. You want to get killed here in this moment. But it was really powerful. Hold up. Oh, wait a minute. On raising his 4-year-old son, Armin, he's my healer. You have called Armin a healer for you, King said. What do you mean by that? I look at him and I'm looking at myself at that age, Perry said, and I'm wondering how anybody could be cruel and unkind to this level of pure innocence and beauty and love. I had to discipline him one day because he was having a problem with Nanny. And he just, in the bathroom, he doesn't want to brush his teeth, Perry recalled. So I open the door and he just freezes and looks at me, asked the nanny to leave. And I sat down with him, got down eye to eye, and I'm talking to him. And as I'm talking to him, I'm realizing that I really need to run out of the room because I'm about to start crying. I'm talking to him. I'm telling him how much I love him. And I love him. And how disrespectful this is. And how disappointed I am that he's behaving this way. You're such a smart kid. Why are you doing this? You can't behave this way because other kids do that. This is not what you do. So I'm trying to finish. And he's just crying, Perry said. He said, Papa, I'm so sorry. I run out of the room without him noticing because it broke me. I realized that nobody had ever talked to me like a person as a child. Nobody had ever talked to me like a human being, right? So that's what I meant when I say my healer. Every time I talk to him, every time I hug him, every time I love him, let him know he's special. There's something in me that's being healed, Perry said through tears. On defining his legacy, the studio is going to be what it is. When asked what he want his legacy to be, Perry highlighted the studio, but said there's also more to come. You know the studio is going to be what it is, Perry said. I'll tell you what I'm most excited about next is pulling this next phase off. Is building a compound for trafficked women. Salute to Tyler Perry for that one. Building a compound for trafficked women, girls, homeless women. Omit the LGBTQ part. And somewhere on these 330 acres where they're trained in the business and they become self-sufficient. They live in nice apartments. There's daycare. There's all of these wonderful things that allow them to re-enter society and then pay it forward again. So that's what I hope to do soon. Well, we're going to stop right there and put up the video clip on that to show you. And then we're going to do commentary on it. Stand by.
This shot is from Atlanta, home of Tyler Perry's new, historic, and massive new movie studio complex. We went behind the scenes at the site that features a dozen sound stages named after black icons in Hollywood. Tyler Perry is a creative force behind 22 movies, 20 plays, 8 TV shows. He's very busy. The 50-year-old writer, director, and actor told us what inspires him to think big. The star-studded grand opening of his new film studio is quite literally a dream come true for Tyler Perry.
I'm going to tell you something. There was a moment that happened in 2005 at the Legends Ball. I promise you, and I wish people
That's
really...
Oprah's Legends Ball.
Oprah's Legends Ball, yeah. She invited me there. My movie had just come out. Diary of a Mad Black Woman had just come out. First movie. Not a lot of people knew me in the room. And I'm sitting there wondering, what am I doing in this room? And Yolanda Adams is sitting next to me. I think I said it out loud because she goes, you belong in the room. Leaving there, seeing it, touching it, tasting it, feeling it, the excitement of what it meant to see a woman, a black woman, be able to do that, spoke to me in so many ways. And I'm on video saying, listen, in my Cartier glasses, my zoot suit, thinking I'm looking great. I said, I'm just absolutely floored. And my thing leaving here, I'm going to dream bigger and dream more. And it opened me up to believing anything is possible.
in many ways, it seems to me like you're just getting started.
Yep.
Does it feel like that to you?
Yeah, because at 28, I went into this shell because I started touring, doing 300-something shows a year.
Why do we make us pray harder? Watch this. Hallelujah!
So somewhere around 44, 45, I came out of it, and I go, wait a minute, where did all those years go? So now I feel like I'm still 35. So I feel like I'm just getting started. There's nothing about me that feels like 50, whatever that's supposed to mean. Everything I've done for the last 5, 7 movies has been done here.
The land that is now Tyler Perry Studios sits on 330 acres with 12 sound stages. There is even a replica of the White House, where he...
Listen, Jimmy, let me home him right here. Now, did you see how beautiful this property is? How big it is? Let's back it up a little bit. Beautiful. We're talking a dozen sound stages. First, when I heard about this news, because I don't particularly care for Tyler Perry, I said, whatever. But then the ancestors said, hold up, look into it. It's a teaching moment to battle the enemies, to tell Eddie West to go fuck theirself. Sorry, said it, but not sorry. However, do you know what this means, Black America? See, when you're pessimistic, when you play the slave and victims game, you miss opportunities for growth, economically, socially, and in other isms. Because what I realized today was, if you're black and unemployed, you should be on the next bus down there looking for a job. 12 fucking sound studios. They need people. Tyler Perry really is a good man beyond all the politics. He wants to help people, black people. But see, when you're pessimistic, playing the victim all the time, talking about, what they're not going to give me, and and I can't fight in the streets, and see, the problem is, you love white folks more than you love yourself. You don't want a job from a black man or a woman. You don't want to marry people that look like you. You don't want to raise children that look like you. So, you miss opportunities. See, I'm going to tell you this. None of this here beautiful progress would be possible without Dr. King's integration. Can you dig it? You doubt me? Let's try it. Let's try it real quick. Okay, well, we're talking about previous Confederate property this sits on. So the last time I checked, segregation sundown towns, there's no fucking way this would have been possible. So all you pessimistic, lying, lazy, victim-playing Negroes, I'm just going to be clear. You're missing opportunities. Black opportunities for black empowerment. So, you're saying you didn't get any reparations. What the fuck do you call this? We've got something coming up later at the end of the show. We're going to kill another myth being spawned by the Judas goat herself, Yvette Carnell. I hope you're listening, mama, because we got you. We got your number, baby. And what you people do is you sit up there and you spin narratives and you lie and you slander and you take leaders out of context, like MLK and others, trying to fit them into this scheme called ADOS. When Dr. King, we'll get into it, I'm just going to warn you what it is. When he talked about, we're coming for our check, we crunched that. We looked into that. And we're going to take it on because the ADOS camp's been saying, oh, yeah, see, even he was for it. Bullshit. I call bullshit, and we're going to show you today. But anyway, let's continue this beautiful piece.
Acres with 12 sound stages. There is even a replica of the White House, where he films his new show, The Oval.
This is the Oval Office.
It looks just like it does on TV, Tyler. But before Perry brought Hollywood to Atlanta, this was once Fort McPherson Military Base, a Confederate stronghold.
The property that slaves built, that was once a Confederate Army base. Think about the poetic justice in that. The Confederate Army is fighting to keep Negroes enslaved in America, fighting, strategy, planning on this very ground. And now this very ground is owned by me. Set out to
It's an extraordinary accomplishment for Perry, whose journey includes overcoming abuse during his childhood, and at one point losing everything, including his home. But now his ride to work is a reminder of how far he has come. What did that mean to you to see that on the highway? And it's a bona fide highway sign. What did that mean?
Yeah, first time I saw it, it was next to Sylvan Road, which I remember when I moved to Atlanta. I moved off of Sylvan Road with my cousin and got put out of the house, had no money, that kind of thing. So I'm looking at Sylvan Road. And then to see my name next to that moment, it took my breath away.
I don't want to delay any further. They're just going over what I already read in my piece earlier. The reason I brought up the video, so all you could see those buildings, the property, the beauty, the opportunity waiting for us. Anyway, let's go back to our memorandum. So we're not done here yet. If that's not proof enough for you that integration was the reparations, people, talk about black billionaires. A lot of people talk about this income disparity gap, the 2%, the wealth gap, and other things. First, let me shout this chat room out. We got some new people in here. Caribbean Fire B1 salute. Comment goes, I was saying the same thing. Integration was a reparation. Salute. I'm glad. I'm happy to hear it. New World Order B1 salute, sir. What's up? What's up with you? What's up? And let me say this. We say, Halafiane, free the land, Hotep, black power, and to all others, what's up? Now, Brother Nubian, B1 salute, sir. Peace, power, and protection, family. And now, let's see. Mafa 21, B1 salute. Emmanuel Briggs, he may have achieved a small portion of it. All right, let's get back to this. Brother Nubian, these goddamn Neander beasts will try to burn it down. All right. Well, if they do that, my friend, it's a call to action. Not a time for knuckle drag. It's time to boot up, and guess what? People, we got to defend ourselves. The bullet or the bullet. Now, continuing this. I stay strapped, by the way. I'm a war general. What can I say, babe? Anyway. Anyway. We're talking about black millionaires and billionaires. Now, a lot of you like to make the excuse. Oh, there's a 2% of the wealth gap. We have no money. Oh, white folks have all the money. Well, okay. Let's just prove that you did, because that ain't true. First on our list, and I know, baby, the Negro spin machine, the Negro victim machine, the Negro urban legend machine and mechanism, the Negro slander campaign and machine are hard at work tearing down celebrities and the black billionaires so that they can hide behind the victim's narrative. There's no one here for us that looks like us. Oh, you can't trust those celebrities, and yeah, fuck them anyway. And it doesn't mean that they're coons. And the reality is, the point is, again, hey man, if the systemic racism was so bad, how can a man who's 6'5" or so overcome sleeping in a damn Geo Metro? Oprah Winfrey overcome the tragedies in their life. Listen, if you never walked in their shoes, how the hell do you have the right to discredit them and their success? See, if anything, you victims, you nation of slaves, you nation of identity politic playing fools, you nation of white excusing apologists and acceptance seekers, you would actually be looking to your own success stories for inspiration, damn you. But anyway. Anyway, getting past that. I'm trying not to really turn up today because, Anyways, let's get to it. more than just telling you these men and women are fucking billionaires. We're going to give you the stats, how much their net worth is. We do scientific, mathematics, surgical shit here. So bring it up. Oprah Winfrey, her net worth is $2.7 billion USD. Mock my words. Feeling lucky, punk? Huh? Do ya? Well. And so, again, the question I must ask is, how did she overcome? I know they're bought and paid for. I know they're coons. I know they're tokenized. I get it, baby. Everything has to be cynical with you Negroes. Anyway, I already thought of all the ins and outs about this. You're not going to be able to trap me on this, folks. Because I already know what Negroes will go try to say. I got to clean up for all of you. Now, anyway, the guy on your screen is Mike and Denuga. His net worth is $8.6 billion. $8.6 billion in the hills of America. What can I say, babe? Michael and Denuga, we may have the wrong stats. But anyway, he's, hold on one sec. Oh, fuck. Okay. He's Nigerian. A Nigerian billionaire. I already know what you're starting to say. Well, he's foreign. Sent here to usurp us. Okay, hold on. Pump your brakes, baby. Control yourself. He's a billionaire from Nigeria. A businessman and the second richest person in Africa. His company, Globacom, is Nigeria's second largest telecom operator, which has a presence in Ghana and Benin. He owns stakes in the Equatorial Trust Bank and the oil exploration firm Con Oil. We may have the wrong stats on this guy. A similar person with a similar name. I hope not. We're going to move on to the next person on the list. All right. And her name is hard to pronounce, but Florencio Alakacha. Florenzo Alakacha, something like that. She's worth $1 billion USD. She is a Nigerian businesswoman. She is involved in the fashion, oil, real estate, and printing industries. I already know what you're thinking. Well, they're not born here, Queen Ma'at. I know. Baby, please. Pump your brakes. We're going to get there. Hold on. Don't embarrass yourselves. Please talk amongst yourselves. But please don't embarrass yourself. But anyway. Oh, I love it. And now on to the next one. We got it all covered. Do not worry about where they're born. Mind you, it means nothing anyway, but Abdul Samad Rabiu is worth $1.6 billion. Abdul is a Nigerian businessman. His late father, Khalifa, is Yaku Rabiu, was one of Nigeria's foremost industrialists in the 1970s and 1980s. And because I know the cowardly Negro excuse-making machine, the cowardly Negro white flag waving machine, admitted furriers will cry foul that most of these billionaires I read off are foreign born. I want to name American black billionaires now. And I already know you're going to call them coons. I know the game, baby. Well, continuing this painful dissertation, I already know the game. And you know who you're looking at right now. His name is Jay-Z. His net worth is $1 billion. $1 billion. I wish it was like that Austin Powers movie, $1 gazillion. And the camera zooms in on me as I do the little thing with my pinky on my lip. Worth $1 billion. Now, before you Negroes go bringing up the NFL deal, just remember, I am totally aware of it. And it just goes to show the sick mentality of African Americans who were born here in the corrosive culture. We care more about whiteness white status, white passing, and white acceptance than collective black nationhood. I get it, so don't even bring it up. And now we're going to move on to bring up another black billionaire. His wife, Beyonce Knowles. I already know, she's a coon, I get it. All of the damn deflection. Please don't give yourself a heart attack, doll. Don't give yourself a stroke at age 25, baby. Stick with us. Hang in there. I already know. It's so bad out there. I get it. Everything good for black folks has to be bad. I get it. Beyonce is worth $400 million. $400 million. And just to remind you, where was she born? Well, shit. Let's refer to the stack of stuff real quick. She was born in Houston, Texas. And last time I checked, Houston was a black area. And Houston, we have a problem. See, we don't always talk about where they're foreign born. Oh, well, she was born in Houston, Texas. Don't hurt yourself, baby. And we're going to move on to our next American-born millionaire or billionaire. You already know who he is. And don't try to say he wasn't born here. Don't even search. Just sit tight, baby. Dave Chappelle is worth $42 million. More than any of you have, so don't discredit it till you make it. $42 million, and just because you Captain Black American Negroes need to be reminded. Let's refer to the stack of stuff, ladies and gentlemen, please. He was born in Washington, D.C. Oh, no, she didn't. Yes, I did. Got a problem with that? Yeah, because I already knew you were going to do it, so I brought out the stats and the stack of stuff. Anyway. And I'm not done yet. God damn it. And I know you're saying, oh, well, you know, the Jacksons, they weren't shit. Okay, I know, baby. Please don't hurt yourself. But anyway, keeping it moving. Janet Jackson is worth $175 million. $175 million. Did you hear me? I didn't stutter. $175 million. Let's get ready to rumble. Shit. So now, just because you Captain Black American Negroes need to be reminded. She was born in Gary, Indiana. Here, in the hills of America, the United Snakes of America, where the systemic oppression and racism keeps us back. Keeps us a mere 2% of the wealth gap. Can you dig it? She's worth $175 million. Can you dig it? And just because we didn't mention it previously, Tyler Perry is worth $600 million. Just so you know, Captain Black American Negro. Put the stats away. Okay, let's finish this here, because we're not done. Just getting started. Now, let's clear up this confusion. Let that other beautiful picture roll, please. Thank you, sir. And so now, I will say again, Tyler Perry's worth $600 million. Can you dig it? Now, I'm going to jump into other stats. Brace yourself. We're not done yet. Shit. So just stick with us. You'll get it. And someone gets upset, you know, just sue me. Anyway. If these countless black Americans can make it, despite systemic racism, white supremacy, you can make it. Stop being cynical when it comes to your excellence. Stop being negative when it comes to your greatness. Stop elevating white supremacy above yourselves. Because truth be told, white supremacy in translation spells out white flight. In order to survive, and because they have always experienced black plagues and negative birth rates, black plagues and negative birth rates, they by nature must conquest, enslave, commit genocide and theft to justify and implement a white majority. You Negroes give power to the white supremacy each and every day. I'm referring to, and before we do that, please, let's do it with style. You know, because I like style. Can you dig it? So, getting back on point. We're going to tell you what we're going to tell you. I'm referred to as the white supremacy terminator. I must live up to that title. And in doing so, I must expose them. Outside of that, I have no use for them. It's you Negroes who build them up and make investments in their inferiority complex every day. Make they become superiority over yourselves. You worship the very ground the dominant society walks on. You overtly submit to white males and white females and white dominance. You are the problem, Black America, and the majority of the onus is on the African American Negro male collective because he is our leaders, builders, and providers. But at this critical juncture, I've accepted that Black women must take our place on the throne along with stand-up individual Black men to lead us out of this mess, to fight our way out of the hell that we're in. Waiting on the collective Black man as they knuckle drag and destroy the Black community is useless, unsustainable, futile. So now, Mr. Engineer, let's move ahead to the civil rights depictions, because we're finna build some more. Far from over here. Far from that. Excuse me. Oh, okay. Civil rights integration and identity. The culmination of many regional movements, federal civil rights legislation enacted between 1954 and 1965 ended the legal sanction for racial segregation and restored the right to vote to African Americans, another repair. This legislation opened new opportunities for African Americans in education, employment, and all aspects of public life, creating a new sense of possibility. However, racial discrimination and disparity persisted. We get it. The assassination of civil rights leader Martin Luther King in 1968 symbolized the work that remained to truly integrate American society. Concepts of racial inequality, and in particular a nation of the superiority of the white race enshrined in law, had shaped American society for more than 2 centuries. In the years following the civil rights movement, many Americans, both Black and white, worked to recast the identity of African Americans in society. Looking back from a new perspective, a growing group of historians reconsidered and retold American history, documenting the profound injustice of slavery, finding pride in the movements of struggle, and cataloging and celebrating the many and oft overlooked accomplishments and contributions of Black Americans to society. By writing the experiences of African Americans into history of the United States, historians played an important role in making African American culture an inseparable part of the future narrative of American identity. You've arrived, ladies and gentlemen. Get off your knuckles in your ass and do something with the resources. Statement by the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Education is the medium by which people are prepared for the creation of their own particular civilization, advancement, and glory of their race. And a race without authority and power is a race without respect. Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Black power! He said those words, goddammit, and he was right. In a wide-ranging telephone interview with Tom Troy, a reporter for the Toledo Blade in February, I was asked if blacks were better off as a people under segregation as a race. I said, we were better off economically, educationally, and socially. We had our own teachers who lived among us in our neighborhoods and who attended our churches. We knew them. They knew us, our parents. We had a relationship, not because of segregation, but separation. Can you dig it? See, relationships, meaning family relationships, marital relationships. Can you dig it? I can dig it. That ain't heavy. You, my brother. Now, pre-integration came. Scratch that. Pre-integration crime rates in our communities were lower. Although our schools were not perfect, our children learned more, and there was more discipline when we had our own code of ethics, supported by our own parent-teacher associations. Policemen, resource officers were never seen at our schools. I love it. They were not needed. Our parents provided all the discipline that was needed. Black power. I'm against racial segregation. It is the imposition of the will of a stronger race on the will of a weaker race. And that's what really reparations comes down to, the will of a stronger race against the deposition of a weaker race. Can you dig it? That is wrong. Separation, on the other hand, is the free choice of one group to separate from the other for the good of the group. It does not deny the rights and privileges of any other group. Chinatown is controlled by the Chinese. They live there. They run it. They have their own schools, stores, and churches, and see Jesus through the slanted eyes of their own culture. Can you dig it? They have what whites have, only smaller. Many blacks, and I am one of them, think that separation is far better than integration, assimilation, or segregation. What did he say there? Yes, separation is better than integration, assimilation, or segregation. Can you dig it? The white and black churches are separated but not segregated. Whites are not denied admission to black churches, and neither are blacks denied admission to white churches. However, blacks who attend white churches don't run them. And the few whites who attend black churches don't run them. There are obvious cultural differences that are quickly recognized and respected by both churches. When blacks get ready to leave the service, go to the restroom, or just leave, they will usually stand, raise their index finger, bow, and slowly walk out. Whites, on the other hand, just get up and leave any assembly at any time. Blacks who attend white churches find themselves raising their right index finger, bowing, and slowly walking out. Whites, whether they attend a white church or black church, just get up and leave. Can you dig it? The Chinese are not integrated and don't ask for it. The Chinese are not integrated and don't ask for it, baby. They have their own Chinatown. The Vietnamese are not integrated and they don't ask for it. They have their own little Hanoi. Can you dig it? Cubans are not integrated and don't ask for it. They have their own little Havana. Can you dig it? These groups bear their own communities, have their own stores, restaurants, and churches. The church. They see Jesus through the eyes of their own culture. They have their own economy, select their own politicians, elect them, and them collect from them, and then collect from them. So, what have we learned, ladies and gentlemen? We've learned what empowerment really is. Now, refer to the screen here you're looking at. It says, equal our opportunities. Equal our opportunities. Listen. If you fail to have right and exact understanding or overstanding, you dig, you may think what you're reading there is a political statement for self-empowerment. Well, the truth is, it's neither. Because what it is a statement from a beggar. And so, when you beg from your enemies, all you're going to get are trinkets at master's table. Or are you going to get our token niggers, all the excuses you're making. But the reality is, despite all these beliefs, denials, deflections, rumors, urban legends, Integration was unanimously accepted and supported after MLK's death by black Negroes. So you chose your reparation. You chose your repair. At the beginning of this dissertation, I told you all, I informed you all that repair or reparations is not limited to money. So the money comes into it when you're individually wronged. We've seen individuals in the hells of America get compensation for police shootings, for race riots, and a whole gamut of other things. Try to deny me. But you see what the passions were that they fought for. They fought for equal our opportunities. Now, what's different in them versus ADOS? These people never pick it. They never get off their fat asses. All they do is sit on the internet and say, hey, you know, all we need to do, because we're not that serious anyway, we just want to get as many people propagandized for the purpose of eliminating the black oppositional vote. We want to get as many Negroes propagandized for the purposes of eliminating the black oppositional votes. Further, you see Negroes sprinkled in with the white people saying, we won't go October 16th, probably 1963 or 64, give or take. I don't know. Look it up. The point is, these were the things they demanded over cut the check. But baby, don't worry, we're getting to cut the check in a minute. But let's continue. Let's continue. Freedom. We march for integrated schools now. We demand equal rights now. These are the things they're picketing for. These are the things they're saying on the signs. These are the things, including but not limited to freedom. Read it for yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. But the facts are the facts. And I've got the tea in the facts, baby. Okay. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and pursue further memorandum. Let's get caught up here. All right. We're going to move ahead and bring up something special we prepared for all of you. ADOS is shit. So we took the liberty of shitting all over their asses. Black power. Metaphorically. Now, the point is, they are full of shit. And that's what this depiction is telling you. ADOS cut the check and, oh, we're coming for our check. And all this bullshit is just that bullshit. Victim's narrative, stalling for time, Captain American black Negroes, trying to be the best pedigree bottom bitch ward of the state on the white man's titty. Seeking government-sponsored cheese called reparations, another form of welfare. Can you dig it? Not trying to hurt you, just being honest. It's not empowerment, people. Now, anyways, finally, let's address the statement, we're coming to get our check, made by Martin Luther King Jr. The statement was made prior to I Have a Dream speech, baby. I believe. Don't quote me to it, don't hold me to it. But I believe that was the case. Martin Luther King said that the lack of reparations being paid to the black people of America has come to this. And I'm paraphrasing. He said, this November, when we go to Washington, we're coming to get our check. Now, what did he actually mean by this? He meant that integration for equality, equal opportunity, resources, etc., under the civil rights legislation would be the metaphoric coming to get the check. Because after that, we would have access to land grants, equal opportunities, equal rights, and revoked protections, revoked land rights. After the race riots burned down Black Wall Street, and after being shut out of white towns by segregation, we would arrive out of the ashes in a fair, equal, balanced America with the support of the government on a state, county, and federal level to be protected, financed, for example, small business loans, etc., property loans, title loans, and more. Good schools, high educational resources, and equal protections under the law. Equal protections of property, life, liberty, and limb. That's what he was actually saying. But the Judas Goat, Yvette Carnell, and Tone Talks, Antonio Moore are lying deliberately, taking him out of context. Because they, ladies and gentlemen, have an agenda. Now let's roll some footage for you to hear it for yourself. And we're going to build on it a little more before we open the phone lines. Can you dig it? We are coming to get our check. And oh, they're memeing it up, baby. They're, oh, see, he was on call too, Tone. You know how she talks, but anyway. Hey, man, I'm just a truth terrorist. Can you dig it? Roll it.
At the very same time that America refused to give the Negro any land, through an act of Congress, our government was giving away millions of acres of land in the West and the Midwest, which meant that it was willing to undergird its white peasants from Europe with an economic floor. But not only did they give the land, they built land-grant colleges with government money to teach them how to farm. Not only that, they provided county agents to further their expertise in farming. Not only that, they provided low interest rates in order that they could mechanize their farms. Not only that, today many of these people are receiving millions of dollars in federal subsidies not to farm, and they are the very people telling the black man that he ought to lift himself by his own bootstraps. And this is what we are faced with, and this is the reality. Now, when we come to Washington in this campaign, we are coming to get our check.
I know I save money by bundling with USAA. Home, auto, life insurance, anything we get through USAA. And they give us excellent.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that awful, annoying fucking buffer and slow down shit. We're in the process of upgrading to a supercomputer to stop this shit. But anyway, we should have to in the next few days. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, hope I didn't bore you, baby. We're not trying to be truth assassins, but we're trying to be truth terrorists. Can you dig it? And so the point is this, to bring it all home, to give context. You heard him talk about land grants, access to schools, and a broad host of other things. You didn't just hear him talking about money, cut the check, pay us. Bullshit. He referred to the I Have a Dream speech when he said, when we come to Washington, the pivotal moment. And so we can conclude and concur, look it up, that he, after his death, was successful in the integration campaign. Now, we may have something here to get into before we open the phone line, so we're going to look for it real quick to be sure. And then we're going to open the phone lines for all of you. I know nobody has the heart to call in. It's just the way it is. And I'm going to shout out this chat room in just a moment. I saw some people entering. Give me one hot moment. Let me see. Okay, we may not have nothing further. Okay, we don't. So we're clear on that end of things. Let me go to the chat room real quick. I'm going to do some salutes here. All right. So she, I don't know if that's a she or he. I think it's a he. But in Nkrumah, true, the Homestead Act of 1862. Not sure what you meant by that, but you just threw it out there. John Other is laughing at us. Screen Learner B1 Salute, sir, says, we've learned that black people need to teach their own. It is better for blacks who are retired to teach the youth to pass on experience, wisdom, and academics. The retired and elderly are our assets. Yes, sir, salute. But anyone standing in the lane of truth, sir, can teach. And the numbers you have in YouTube and abroad mean nothing. A Big Ten's for circus freaks. So anybody standing on the truth with 2 subscribers is honorable. Fuck all that bullshit. You have a bunch of... See, let me tell you this. Popular crowds, going with a popular crowd is always chaotic, always anarchy, always disastrous. Idiots follow the popular crowd. So we don't give a fuck about all that showing out. Xander B1 Salute says, ahoy, uncle. Brother Nubian. John Nothing says, Dragon Knuckles like a caveman. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that, my good brother, but pathetic at best, like a slave. There's a difference. Please. Queen Courtney B1 Salute Sister Queen. Peace Queen. MGTV, but I'm Queen Margaret. Peace Queen. Sequoia L. Hi, Kenny. Well, Kenny has a lot of support here. Love it, my brother. John Nothing. Who's that Mexican lady? Not sure who you're talking about, brother. Brother Nubian. Don't nobody better say nothing bad about Miss Jackson, or I'll turn into Ice Cube on your ass. I'm from Gary, biatch. Oh, I love it. Oh, really? And Kenny Contra says, laugh my ass off, Queen. I'm glad I could entertain you, beloved. So now, I'm going to look further to make sure there's no one missed here, because I hate it when I do that. Yeah, we've got a light-ass chat room tonight. People are really sick of my ass, but it's cool, man. Can you dig it? And we love it. If you feel like unsubscribing today, please do so. We still love you. But when we're victorious, lover, please don't forget to write us and tell us how you feel. And tell us how your little failed ADOS experiment turned out. So now, we're going to stop, what do you call it, bumping our gums and being rhetorical, and open up these goddamn phone lines. So just stand by, please. And we'll be right back at you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we made some changes to our phone system. We got it beefed up. So hopefully you'll be able to hear all the volume when the callers call in. Wow, we're getting some static through the system. What the hell, baby? Hell is going on here? All right, so we're standing by for your calls. This is the BCC Black CENTCOM Black Central Command. You may hit us at 122-597-7258 if you have, and only if you have the lion's heart, the lioness heart, and the warrior spirit to do so. We're not forcing you to do anything. We're not begging you. But if you're brave enough to hit us with your best shot, do so at 122-597-7258 or forever hold your peace. This is the lightning round in the BCC Black CENTCOM Black Central Command, baby. Now, we told you all that integration was a form of reparation, a form of repair. You don't have to take my word for it. Just crunch the research data, baby. Quit sitting on your hands and knees and quit knuckle dragging, you dig. Quit being pessimistic, shooting down all your opportunity in blackface. While it's you make concessions, look it up. Stipulations, look it up. And advancements in white America, KKK, the United Snakes of America. And then having the nerve to say, hey, you have nothing. Playing this victim. You know, so we're trying to tell you people, if you do not get stuck on stupid, if you don't become insane, and the definition of insanity, last time I checked, baby, is this: doing the same thing, expecting a different outcome. See, whenever time a solution comes to you, whether it be Me Too movement, a rich billionaire providing jobs for your black ass, you say, fuck that. Well, I'm really trying to distance myself from this cancerous, ignorant, go nowhere, stuck in the mud, victimhood. This nation of slaves who doesn't really want to progress. All they want to do is stay stuck in probably mythological 2% of the wealth gap, stay stuck in a victim's narrative, stay stuck in pessimisticity, look it up, and all these other isms to excuse doing something collectively for nationhood. And empowerment, we've told you on this program, the only program you're going to hear it is not coming to you like Santa Claus is coming to town. Santa Claus is coming to town. No, none of that shit. He doesn't see you when you're sleeping. He doesn't know when you're awake. So you have to get off your own fucking ass. And if you must come down some black chinemies, do for self. Okay, that's what it's common to people. All this, woe is us. Everybody's got to be bad for us, even the foreign-born blacks and celebrity blacks. Come on, man. Every time. What kills me is when we are having a real conversation, the Negroes cannot wait to come out of the woodwork with a crying game. Crocodile tears. Cry me a river. Play the violin music. And play the fucking victim. And say, well, this is why that won't work. Well, you can't stand up for justice in these streets. Well, history is best proven to qualify the present and the future. And we know there's been countless groups of African Americans fighting in these here streets for justice, equal opportunity, protection on the law, standing up for their rights and other things. See, when we get stuck on stupid, now victim's mentality becomes defeatist mentality. Defeatist mentality becomes insanity. Because, see, here's the painful truth of the reality we're in. Not me, not you, not I, but the collective of Negroes are in. And we like to call them Captain Black American Negroes. Shout out to Prince Dynast Amir from Search for Uhuru. I learned that from him and his posse, his brothers. Posse, whatever that word is. Please don't get it confused. However, we learned that from him. And so, you Captain Black American Negroes search for every out, every excuse. You tear down every bit of help that comes your way to say it's not good enough. Because he believes this is not good enough. We deny him. We forsake him or her. It's not enough. It's never enough. And what happens is this. Not just your enemies, but people who are black, just like you, living in this country, get sick of you. You know what you become? You don't become smart. You don't become intelligent. You don't become a threat. You become a thorn in people's fucking side. That's what you become. And I don't care if you don't like it. And so not only will the race soldiers, quote unquote, mow you the fuck down? People get sick of, I'm not excusing it, but people get sick of a crybaby where you stick the titty in his mouth, it's not enough. You give him milk, warm milk, it's not enough. You put him to bed on time, it's not enough. You wake him up on time, it's not enough. You clean his ass and wash his ass for him, it's not enough. You cook his meals, it's not enough. You slave for him, it's not enough. You suck his dick, it's not enough. People get sick of you after a while. So it's like, what can I do with this mother? Put him out of his misery. Strong words, but that is what it is. I'm getting tired. And I'm not going to continue on this here program to coddle the victims, spin the web, weave the narrative, the awful plight of the mentally ill slaves in America and tell them, yeah, that's the dog in this fight. Continue to be victims. We'll cut to the chase and say, see how far that fucking gets you. It's not going to get you nothing. What I'm saying here is, shit, if they shock me and cut you a check, goddamn, I'll eat my own fucking words. Can you dig it? However, more than that, what I'm telling you is goddamn. When are you going to snap and fight? Hell, you don't even want to fight now. You're at the point you're saying, well, don't try to fight. Just get your ass kicked. Because if you try to fight, they're going to kill you. Well, let me tell you something, buddy. You better fucking go out fighting. The reality of it is, hey, if the cop doesn't kill somebody in close proximity to you who looks like you, will kill you too. Shit. Is Joshua Brown not enough truth for you? Is Tupac Shakur not enough truth for you? Is Biggie Small Call Me Big Papa not truth enough for you? Is Nipsey Hussle not truth enough for you? Is Malcolm X not truth enough for you? The reality is, people, we've wasted. And that's a cynical, that's a pitiful, that's a shameful, that's a disappointed laugh. Because we've wasted more than 140 some odd years since emancipation to do anything for ourselves. Collectively, we see the Vietnamese doing it. Little Hanoi, we see the Chinese doing it. Everybody else is doing it. Well, why can't you? Some individual blacks in this country are doing it. Why not you? 6'5" men, homeless, with kids, sleeping out of a Geo Metro are doing it. Why the fuck can't you? Shit. Now I know. Here's the point where, we're just sick of her. Oh, she's grandstand. Oh, she thinks she's better than herself. Fuck her. Unsubscribe. Baby. Let's give him a round of applause. We don't give a shit, baby, because it's leadership time. It's 2019. Imagine, like, if you will, a football game, and the wide receivers, everybody's set, the play is set, coaches are hot, field is hot, fourth quarter, goddamn, tie ball game. I don't know nothing about football, I'm just saying. Oh, it's overtime, goddamn. Oh boy, it is overtime in the Super Bowl of all fucking things, goddamn. That's what 2019 is symbolic of. And now it's time. Do we run the play? And now, I'm not going to lie to you. I've seen some Super Bowl games with my ex before. I've watched some games, but usually I just took my ass to sleep. It's boring. But the thing is, now we're faced with the question, do we punt it? Do we play it? Or whatever, goddamn. Do we run it? And the reality is, Negroes don't fucking want to run it. Goddamn. The thing is, you need to fucking run it. Goddamn. Go to the fucking end zone at this point, because by 20 fucking what? 20 goddamn, I believe it's 2050, 2060, give or take. Look at it. We're going to be emphatically replaced by our enemies. And you know what? It's an impending, futile future in reality, because Negroes refuse to follow instruction. Negroes refuse to listen. Negroes refuse to be inspired. Negroes refuse to implement the blueprints for fucking black empowerment. Listen, I'm going to retract the statement on Negroes don't know how to be monkey see, monkey do, because that's all Negroes do, but in the wrong fucking context. You want to slide down stripper poles, you want to bust caps on 40s and suck a 40 down, you want to Xanax the fuck up. You want to turn down for what? You want to do all these things, but fucking do something for yourself. Oh, that's taboo right there. Reality is, I must say this to make sure the point was made that integration provided the setup, the equality, the financial structure, the oversight. And now I know, baby, that not in all cases we get equal protection under the law. I get it. Well, that's just life. Because, hey, really, crime is not a statistic that can be broad stroked or generalized into white or black or Asian or otherwise. The reality is crime is a factor mostly linked to poverty. Can you dig it? Without resources, crime happens. And in communities, why there is high homicide rates in black communities is because of the lack of opportunities. We get it. Now, we also concur and corroborate that the people living in close proximity to you are most likely to be the ones robbing you, killing you, raping you, cheating on you, all that. You may spend your entire life playing the victim on the couch, seeking white gratification, acceptance, and love, and appreciation and admiration, bigging up white supremacy, inflating an inferiority complex driven form of nationalism, which your black inferiority complex every day, to only find out one day, coming down a dark alley one night, some black man blows you the fuck away. I'm not here trying to tell you why supremacy doesn't exist. What I'm really trying to say is get the fuck off your ass and do something for yourself. And if it was a black man staring you down, I know you would fight back. But see, something interesting happens when the white man is staring you down. You cower. See, you don't want to fight. Your racial derelictness of duty is why you fail. And derelictness of duty is not just simply to fight. It's to do for self. We're not telling anyone here tonight to kill people. We're just telling you, do for self. Stage is set now. Integration was a form of reparation. Integration was a form of repair. Now, do something with the opportunity. Follow by example. The excuse making must fucking stop. And the only reasons we're going to call out white supremacy is to expose them. Otherwise, we have no use for them. They are an inferior group of people who depend on and demand that the world be racist, that the world be segregated, that genocide, rape, murder, and theft be the land of the law, the rule of the day, the order of business, and a big order and a tall order it may be. However, they demand these things because they're recessive peoples. It is a religion, it is a code of conduct. It's a form of nationalism to say is take flight. Segregate yourself from the stronger peoples. And then build up laws, codes of conduct, sundown towns, ordinances, black codes, stop and frisk, and other infrastructures to justify and make manifest the illusion of superiority. They pick minors, children who are black like you to mow down and murder because they know good and well there's no competition for you. And if you deny them at every chance you get, you repudiate, you use slavery as an example to show they're no match for you. You're the exceptional men and women. They lose. But not merely by rhetoric or word of mouth. You must do. You must fight back at every fucking turn to win this fight. More than that, stake a claim. Be somebody in this country. It's not a country of victims. And when, because a lot of you like to say, when we build our own, they're just going to burn it down. Well, God damn it. I'll tell you what, if I can again. When they burn it down. If somebody comes to burn my house down tonight, well, you better hope, God damn it, you can outrun a bullet. You better kill me before I kill you. When somebody takes from you, when somebody victimizes you, when somebody loots you and burns you out, you fucking fight back. Now, the lessons hopefully we learn here tonight is integration was the form of reparation you must do for self. You must be willing to fight your open, diametrically opposed enemy. No knuckle dragging. No backing. No compromise. When we say be one for life, when we say black unapologetic power, that's what we fucking mean. None of this Mike Brown gets killed, we forgive. None of this Dylan Ruth, we forgive. None of this Daniel Patalio, we forgive. None of this Amber Geiger, we forgive. Bullshit. We mean unapologetic. We mean by any means necessary. Now, before we close, and we're closing the phone lines just now, we're going to show you something real quick. We threw in a new slide into our intro here. You're seeing Professor Griff with Micah Johnson. Zero problems, trouble saying his name, but he's the man, I believe, that shot at, I believe it was Dallas PD. I'm not justifying, I'm just saying warrior spirit. A martyr. It's sad, really, that we don't really revere. You know, and that's all I'm going to say on that. But we threw this in because we want very much to be a part of an illustration of black excellence. Not just gum bumping, saying shit. We want to do shit. And in my short period of time being here, I would tell all of you, when it comes to the 1 percentile with the most views on black YouTube, I've got more shit done in a span of 4 months of giving back more to my community. These are the things we want to embody. These are the things we want to illustrate. These are the fucking things I stand for in the BCC, Black CENTCOM, Black Central Command. Pan-Africanism, Black nationalism, Black power. God damn it. And I want you to walk away from here knowing what the fuck that is. It's what we want. God damn it. And when you are attacked some lonely, lonely night, God damn it, I want you to remember my words. Fight till you die. Don't you dare fucking believe some victim's narrative. Woo, I better hold it. What's about to look one red bad? Oh boy. Now, don't you dare. Or some pessimistic fool make a coward of you. The shit stops. See, one more thing I must tell you all tonight. Listen to the sound of my goddamn voice. Too many of us revere cowards. Full-blown, full-grown cowards. Shit. How dare a fucking coward utter the words be one or black pride, but then have the nerve to tell you and say unapologetic and have the nerve to tell you don't fight. You better fucking fight in these streets for your rights. Flex your goddamn rights. If you don't flex and use your rights, you lose your fucking rights. Now, I hope I'm coming in clear. I hope I'm coming in long, loud, and strong. I hope I'm coming in effectively, because that's what we do in the BCC, Black CENTCOM, Black Central Command. We don't jump behind cameras to fucking run our mouths and bump our fucking gums to race hustle, get donations. Now, there may come a time where I believe in the words uttered by my good brother, man, screen learning, and open up a war chest. But it's soon to come. Okay? We're not going to do it yet. However, I'm just trying to tell you people, enough with the Negro stuff. It's time to do something for fucking self. And the thing is, times are changing. these sour grapes, these sour apples. And I'm not putting a name on this. I'm just saying, sugar. There's an analogy that goes, one bad apple spoils the bunch. Well, right now, people, and I'm looking for something. Hold on. Oh, ain't this about a bitch on a Saturday fucking night? Oh, bitch. Hold up. Just what I'm building, goddamn. Hold on. Oh, my God. Okay. So what I was saying was this. You know, sadly, we've become a people spoiled. Not only spoiled because, Daddy's here. Oh, Zaddy, your ice is so cold. What can you give me today, Daddy? Oh, a job? Daddy! Fuck. You know what I mean? Spoiled to get something from Zaddy. You want a white job over a black job. You want a white spouse over a black spouse. You want to have white kids over a black child. Fuck is wrong with you? Hell no. Hell no. God damn it. So the reality is. Whew. Yes, I love the burn, baby. Now, the point is this. Hey. Really, the point is this, folks. We've become spoiled. Ruined. To the point where we can't do shit for ourselves. We don't want to do shit for ourselves. And we contaminate and infect other ambitious black folks to be failures. Because, God damn it, we support the failures every fucking day, 24/7, 366 days a goddamn year with leap year included. So now, we gotta stop this. It's unsustainable at this point in 2019, goddamn. So, I humbly say this, my love. We're going to calm the energy to tell you this. It is fucking time. And I see it, I feel it, I smell it, I taste it. The new order is coming in. The real intelligent black society is rising the fuck up. You know what? Instead of just telling you we're not saviors, we're also telling you to buck the fuck up. Bang the fuck back. Be brick and mortar knickers, not back and knickers. You must be a knicker. But we're telling you be brick and mortar. Men and women who are black. Build your infrastructure. Build your culture. Build your code of conduct. Be the politicians you beg for. Establish a code of conduct and crash the fucking party. And represent. You like to represent the fucking streets all the way from Detroit to Chicago, goddamn you. But I'm going to tell you what. I've been waiting to fucking say this. God damn it. Because there's a lot of Negroes who believe the Holy Grail comes in the form of a street code. See, you are a monkey see, monkey do kind of people. You believe in the fucking streets more than you believe in yourself. You believe in the goddamn white man more than you believe in yourself. And that's you act like fucking little adolescent children tearing shit up, killing each other. You transition from being cold, oh, I'm Detroit, don't fuck with me. Oh, you will rise up on your own. You hide behind these goddamn cameras and talk mighty big shit. But you ain't bucking up on no enemies who don't look like you. You trying to get in their goddamn pants. And a marital affair. This is what I gotta say to street code niggas. You see, because you're a little bastardized ways, your little bastardized code of conduct. Listen, please don't personalize this. I'm not talking to you in the chat room. If you love your city and town, black power. God damn it. I'm not trying to tell you not to do that, but I gotta send a message to some shit. Now, for you street Negroes, your code of conduct is lacking. Your code of conduct is poisonous. Your code of conduct is like a cancer to the educators, leaders, and builders of this here community. You defame, deface, and terrorize and destroy your community every fucking single day. Let me tell you something, set tripping niggas. Try me. Fuck the streets. You don't like it that I said it? Come get me. Grow the fuck up. Come get me. Ain't scared of shit. Now, if you bad enough, come and take me on. And my crew, we real. We ain't afraid to die. We multiply. In the BCC Block Syncom Black Central Command. Mark my words. Feeling lucky, punk. Let me tell you gotta break out of your bullshit. You're stuck in your ways. You're stuck on stupid. You sit on couches all day behind a screen. And you're like nomadic Negroes. Looking for a chat room to clickbait, to do smear campaigns in, to defame, to hide behind your numbers in your cloud and form flag parties. Looking to destroy at every fucking turn. Take a shower or something. Do something with yourself. All you do is sit up on the fucking computer every day looking to destroy. And then you jump in these streets every weekend and turn down for what? Fuck the streets. Street code means I'm gonna hang out in this corner. This is my set. I took this corner. You better not fuck with me. If you black like me, I will shoot you in cold blood. I have no love for street code. We lost a lot of greats to the street code, to the fucking streets. Black women are raped and victimized every single day, a solitary fucking day in the streets. Black people turn up missing in these streets. Negroes pick up the guns dropped off in their communities and use them against themselves in these streets. Fuck the streets. The streets have destroyed Chicago. The streets have destroyed Detroit. Caused all the businesses to leave. And you fucking know it. And when the police like Dallas PD and Chicago PD does great work, we're the foundational Black Americans to support this. All you do is destroy in your wake. Now, if you got a problem, listen. You Negroes make me sick. You're monolithic for all the wrong reasons, but you're monolithic for all the wrong reasons. You would support the rapists, the murderers, the R. Kellys of the world. You would support the pusher men of the world, the kidnappers, the abusers, the molesters, the pedophiles of the world. Failures. But you won't support educators, teachers, leaders, builders, nurturers. Fuck the street. And if you got a problem with it, come see me now. We're in the BCC Black Central Command all goddamn day. You got a problem with it, tell it to my face. Tell it to my heart. Let me feel my body right. Goddamn you. Come and get my ass. Now, the point is, we are tired of your shit. We are not pacified by money here. We are not controlled here. We say it like we feel it. We tell it like we mean it. And with that, we're going to do the honor code, the blueprint of Black Power, and get the fuck out of here. You've been exposed, ADOS and Yvette Carnot. All you goddamn slaves, you nation of slaves and knuckle draggers, you've been exposed and condemned. We don't give a fuck about you. If you ain't trying to build, you never heard of the words Black Power and Black Empowerment, Black First. And Black First doesn't mean you marry a white woman and a white man and build black. Fuck that. That's fake. That's what do you call it? That's deception. That is not Black First. Black First means when I look at you, I look at the community overall and abroad, I better see black children. I better see black women being revered, protected, and married. I better see a thrive in political body of black people, a thrive in healthy, functioning black family, and black communities where you hold, own, and control shit. That's what Black First means. All your goals in life, all your aspirations in life are filtered through black. Foreign and domestic. The fuck ADOS trying to destroy Pan-Africanism, Black nationalism, Black Power. Now, got a problem, take me on. We're going to close this out. E1B1A, E1B1B, B1 for life. Pan-African 2020 tangibles and beyond. Black Machai up. Black Archers up. Black 21 gun salute. Black Fist up. Black Power. Black Power. Black Power. Black Power. Black Power. Black African, uncompromising, unapologetic fucking power. Salute.